Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and I decided to go ahead and do Kelly from the Truth and Stories Irreplaceable Decks tag. I wasn't going to do it because all the decks that I find irreplaceable are decks that I've shown you guys so many times ad nauseum. And then I saw a few other people do the tag, and it was kind of decks that kind of go their own way, and I kind of like that idea more because I have a lot of decks that go their own way because I'm not a typical RWS fan or a Thoth fan, so I tend to navigate toward decks that do go their own way. Hold on 1 second. Let me just pulled in. Okay. So I thought I would do basically, and I have a lot, like I said, I have a lot of decks that go their own way too, and I had to narrow it down to 10 decks or we'd be here all night. And it looks like it's getting ready to rain soon. It's 6:15 on June 11th, 2022. It's very dark all of a sudden out here, like it's going to rain. So hopefully I get through this before it starts. I have one Oracle deck in this, but yeah, it's decks that that do tend to go their own way or have a specific motivation in mind for how to use it. So without further ado, let's get started. So for the first deck I picked, it is the Arcana Tarot playing cards. This is by Dead on Paper. Look at that, gorgeous. It's very elegant, but it is a full playing card deck with majors. This is the Four of Cups. As you can see, there's a cup here, and then it's got the heart here. I love it. I love the linen cardstock of it. These are the backs. And they have I know this is black and white, but they have a black version of it, which I wanted, but it's out of print. Death card. It is black and white. There's the Page of Pentacles. The Lovers. This is a gorgeous deck. And if you're wanting to transition into either playing card reading or vice versa, going from playing card reading to tarot, this is perfect deck for that. And that's why I love it. Look at that. Queen of Wands. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful artwork here. We have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Hearts. Let's see if I can find it's the Queen of Swords. Had it up correct. Love it. The Cups, Pentacles. Here's the Nine of Swords. Yeah, it's gorgeous. The King of Cups. The Page of Swords. Beautiful, beautiful deck. The Sun card. Look at this Ace of Pentacles. Gorgeous. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. The Hierophant. The Devil. Yeah, Page of Cups. Queen of Pentacles. Gorgeous. The Empress. It's a gorgeous deck. And I just don't think there's anything else out there. There are some playing card / tarot decks out there, but I don't feel that I need to get any of them because I have this one. This is the only one I have like this, and it's probably the only one I'm ever going to have like this. It is an indie deck. It is by Dead on Paper. I think it's still available. It was like $25, but for that alone, just because I feel no need to get another one like this, it's an irreplaceable deck for me. So now we're getting into decks that kind of go their own way. And we'll start with the Oracle deck, and this is kind of a cheat. I made a pouch for it. Haven't put a button on yet. But this is the Soul cards 1 and 2. I mixed them together. As you can see, there's 2 different backs here. But this is a deck that helps you hone your intuition, If you're really wanting to practice that, getting into your intuition, let your intuition guide you, this is a great deck for that. And it's yielded some, like there was an immediate, I think it was Soul Cards too. When I got it, it was this immediate connection because there was a card in here that talked about forked tongues, and look at that gorgeousness, gorgeous. And I was just like, what? Because it came true. And I don't think there's a deck, everybody loves these decks. And I don't think there's a deck out there that is comparable to these, that are meant to literally guide your intuition to whatever. And I think for that it's a unique and irreplaceable deck. Well, both of them. I use them both together. I'm just trying to find that one. It's just gorgeous art as well. Gorgeous. Gorgeous art. Yeah, this is all I saw was a forked tongue, lies, and then like literally like 4 hours later, the exact thing happened, and I was like, what is happening? Like, it freaks me out of how accurate it was. But yeah, this is a gorgeous deck, and like I said, I use them both together because they go together. They are meant to be together, even though they have different backs. And you can see they're super thick. Now, I will say I've seen Lisa Papez says she uses these. She's had these for over 20 years, both sets, and she uses them together like I do. Use them for past life readings, and that is intriguing because I've yet to do that, and I think it would be very intriguing to do a past life spread with these decks. So that's quite interesting, and for that, irreplaceable. Speaking of past lives, I have the Art History Tarot for Past Lives. I cannot remember the creator, but she's on Etsy. She also has her own website. These are the backs. This is a tarot deck inspired solely for past lives. And then we have like a keyword here. This is for Africa, like the place. And then down here is the name of the tarot card correspondent. So this would be the Magician. And if you're looking for a place in a past life spread, it would be Africa. And then sometimes if the place doesn't actually resonate with me, I'll go off of, because it tells you the art, what year and everything. It says African by unknown in 1682. So I go by that date as well. So that it's quite intriguing that way, and I love this deck for past life readings. Now I will say I use my Stretch Tarot more than I use this one for past life readings. I have used this one quite a bit though. Like this is for charity, and it's the Six of Pentacles. But this and the Stretch Tarot, two decks that they're irreplaceable for me because they do a specific thing. They are specifically for past life readings. And I just never showed this one. That's why it's in the place of the Stretch Tarot, because I'm always showing the Stretch Tarot because it's one of my top 5 decks ever. But yeah, this is pretty cool, I would say. This is Broken Heart. It comes with its own little workbook, or own little guidebook that breaks down everything. It gives you like the traditional tarot meaning of what it is. 16th century, the Six of Wands. And it also breaks down what it would be for past life. So I love that for that. Love it for that. Let's see here. This one comes up quite a bit for me. I have issues with friendships, and it makes sense because it comes up a lot. And that is the Eight of Cups also. It's about letting go, walking away. Premature death, I've had this come up before. Yeah, this deck is awesome for that. And I'm looking at it now, I'm like, man, I need to get this out more. I was intent on doing look at this, loss in the Eight of Cups. Oh, this is the Eight of Cups. Five of Cups. It's about loss. Rational Man, Turkey. Here's one that's Poison, is 7 of Cups. Lovers. Indigenous Man, China. Spouse. Brother, Twin Flames, Atonement, Abandonment. I've had this one come up a lot. The 8 of Cups. Yeah, that's the 8 of Cups. So I don't know what the other one was earlier. Migration, the World card. It's just very intriguing and very interesting, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I don't use it as much as I want to. That's because I'm always reaching for the stretch tarot. But, yeah, this one, Chronic Illness, 4 of Swords comes up a lot. Instead of taking time to rest, this is a chronic illness, so it kind of gives you a different take on the 4 of Swords. Interesting. And then this was Murder, 10 of Swords. Drowning, 6 of Swords. Yeah, there's so much here. So much depth here for this deck. So much. And it comes with a great guidebook. And then if you want to pay, I think it's $40 extra or $30 extra. I don't know. There's a workbook as well that you can go into depth with different past life spreads, which is quite interesting because I've done the whole workbook. It's crazy. That is Art History Tarot for Past Lives, so that's pretty cool. So that's deck 3. It's getting darker. Next we have my mini Next World Tarot by Christy C. Rode. This was published by Silver Sprocket. Again, it's one of those decks that goes its own way. It also has the associations with the, like this one's Jupiter and Pisces. So if you're wanting to know more about the, oh my gosh, the planetary movement around different astrological symbols, this would be a great deck for that. I've not used it for that. I've used it just for tarot, but it shows, it's basically a very new agey, different type of deck, and I love how it makes me think. It does make me think differently about what the traditional tarot meanings would be, and to me that's what tarot is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you think outside the box, not be like, oh, this doesn't have this meaning. And because I'm an intuitive reader, the more decks the merrier when it comes to this stuff. So because then the more diverse, because then I can get different meanings from things, and it's beautiful. So that is the Next World Tarot by Christy C. Rode. Next we have the Native American Tarot by Laura Tush, artwork by Sergio Ticelli. It is a Los Garibero Tarot deck. This deck's going completely its own way. The backs. But the artwork in this, gorgeous. I don't think I could ever not have this deck in my collection, just because I have so much Native American in me, and this is, the artwork in this is so deep. And I've talked about this, the reason I bought this deck in the walkthrough of it. It talks about a Native American tribe specifically, and I was actually exposed to this Native American tribe through supernatural, paranormal, whatever you want to call it, ways. And then I found out this deck was based on that tribe, and I'm like, okay, I've got to have this deck. So yeah, and the artwork is just phenomenal on this deck. It's gorgeous. And for that, this deck will forever be irreplaceable in my collection. If you want to find out more about that story, you can go to check out the my walkthrough on my playlist. I have a playlist of all the walkthroughs I've done. I also have 4-part series on my channel called The Young Indian Girl that goes into the whole story of how I acquired not this deck, but how I acquired the information I know about this tribe, this specific tribe, because it mentions it in the little white book. It's crazy. So we have 5 left. Yeah. Next we have the True Black Tarot, which is, again, another deck that goes completely its own way. I never hardly use it because it's so hard to shuffle, but the backs are gorgeous. This is one of my top 5 favorite deck cards. Look at that. Chinese writing or Japanese writing. I'm not sure which. The book tells you, and I've read it before. It's phenomenal. But yeah, this deck is so beautiful, and it's more of a pip deck, but it is stunning, and it is unlike anything in my collection. And to me, that makes it irreplaceable. And it's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous deck. Gorgeous deck. Wow, yeah, it's getting super dark. I've got to hurry up with these, because it should not be getting this dark this quick. And in fact, I'm going to start putting these up with that full, beautiful, beautiful deck. And yeah, this was a deck I never thought I'd have because it was out of print when I first got introduced to it. Gorgeous. I'm going to start putting all my stuff up just in case it starts raining. Next we have Tarot of the Hidden Realm, a fairy deck I have, and it's just phenomenal deck. So the backs, it's gorgeous. It goes its own way as well. It's not RWS, I don't think. The images are stunning. It's a phenomenal deck, and it reads so beautiful, and it feels like you're in this other world, like you come from this world, or you belong in this world. It's just gorgeous. Gorgeous deck. Gorgeous. I love this deck to pieces. It's one of the first probably 10 decks I bought ever. But yeah, it's gorgeous. I knew I needed it when I bought it. I got neighbors coming up trying to talk now and behind me on the fence line. This is the deck that made me decide I wanted animal decks. And now I have like 7 of them. A few. Look at these gorgeous, just gorgeous cards. Gorgeous. The Blasted Beach for the tower. It's stunning. Stunning. Oh, look at this Empress. Beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. The Fortune Fairy. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous deck. I don't think there's anything like this deck at all. Which, it's funny because I'm about to show you 3 more fairy decks. But they all have their own specific thing that makes them irreplaceable and makes them unique. I did not plan this on purpose, but I just realized the last 4 decks were all fairy decks. This is the Fairy Lights Tarot by Lo Scarabero. Published, it's by Lucia Mattioli. I rarely use this deck because I still am trying to get to know it. I've had this for quite a while. These are the backs. It is a stunning deck, stunning artwork. I just have a hard time with some of the cards because it seems like they should be images from a certain card, and it's a different card in a different suit. I'm like, what? It's just a little confusing there. But this deck is gorgeous, stunning. I'm going to show you its partner deck right now in a second. This one, it seems very light and airy, whereas the other one is dark. It's beautiful. They're both beautiful decks. Look at this. And again, these are decks that go their own way. They're not RWS, I don't think. And they're just decks I haven't shown in quite a while that people may not remember I even have. This tower card is one of my favorite tower cards. It's the reason I bought this deck. You can see the dust moving like it's starting to collapse in on itself, but everybody's moved to safety. They're gone. They're leaving. And I love that. I love this one with it's kind of black and white, but then there's these splashes of color. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, look at this. Gorgeous deck. Yeah. Yeah, I might have to start working with this one more. And I haven't worked with it in quite a while because I was intimidated by it because there was a few things and I'm just like, that don't seem right. But now that I've had a lot more tarot decks and I've worked with a lot more decks that are not IRWS at all, maybe I can take a closer look at this one. The box fell apart. It's taped up. I need to make a bag for it because the box is crap. It's funny because the next deck is its partner deck by Lucia Mattioli as well. It's Tarot the Secret Force. It's like the 4th or 5th deck I ever bought. It's also by Los Scarabero. This deck I've had like meaty mystic reads with. It is a very, very dark deck. It has a black and white side and then a colored side, which makes it unique and replaceable. The Fairy Lights Tarot, the thing that's unique about it is for each background, there's 2 cards that go together. I have never done it. I've seen people do it on YouTube, so you can look that up. I'm not going to take the time to look at it. But I did edge this one in black. 8 of Swords right on top. And here it looks like she's surrounded by these thorns, but she could still maybe manage to get through them. Here it looks like they've taken her and they've got a hold of her. So there's slight subtle differences between the colored version and the black and white version of this deck. But as soon as I saw this, I'm like, I need this deck in my life. And I've not regretted it. I did have a very deep, dark, twisty, meaty mystic read with this deck. One time it was kind of like accident, and this is the card that I pulled. I was actually having clairvoyant visions of a missing person. And I had just gotten this deck, so I hadn't really looked at any of this stuff. I looked at any of the cards really, and I did a directional spread about this missing person, and this card popped up, and it was the same image I had seen in my clairvoyant vision. Was this lazy kind of river, and there was like a boat parked over here, and then the boat, and it was like somebody missing from the boat. And it's funny because in the black and white side, there is an abandoned boat sitting here, which brought in a whole new creep factor for me. And it actually stopped me from doing medium mystic reads for quite a while because it freaked me out so bad and it was so accurate that I'm like, this is creepy. But this, as you can see, goes its own way. There's the Empress. Completely goes its own way. The Hangman. It's just, there's something about this that speaks to my darkness, is why I love this deck. And that's why this deck is irreplaceable for me. Plus, it's got 2 different colored sides. This one looks like they're hugging each other and they're holding each other up. This is the Lovers. It looks like they're holding each other up. And then the black and white side, it's almost like they're the darker parts of themselves and they're trying to push each other away. So that's why I find intriguing about this deck. You could have 2 completely different meanings with whatever side you depend on, whichever side you decide to use. Look at that. It's crazy. But I love it. It's the Devil. Creepy. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. This creeps me out. I don't know what it is. It's the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles to me is about hoarding your money. I don't see that in this deck. I see this as, and this is why I use this deck as a more mediumistic read. I see this as a hideout. Somebody's hideout where they've kidnapped somebody or murdered somebody, and this is their hideout. That's what I see in this card. And then if you flip it over, to me it's even darker. because it looks like there's a lake there, or there is a lake there on the front. It almost looks like just the ground and the forest, but you can tell there's actually a lake there on this side, which just, it adds to the creep factor of this deck. This deck is very creepy. And if you don't want your truth shown to you, don't buy this deck, because it will show you the truth about everything. Beautiful Magician. So that is the Tarot of the Secret Forest by same creator as the Fairy Lights Tarot. And it is published by, oh my god, La Scarabero. So, last deck I'm going to show you guys, because again, this would have been forever if I had to do all the decks I have that go the wrong way. Last deck I'm going to show you, and I hemmed and hawed about, so I feel like I've been talking forever. This last deck I hemmed and hawed about 4 months. Probably a good 6 months before I actually bit the bullet and bought the deck. And that is Tarot of the She by Emily Harding. There's a little book that goes with it. I saw walkthroughs of this deck, and I'm like, oh, and I saw somebody had trimmed it and edged it, and I'm like, I'm going to do the same thing. And then when I got it, it was almost like this was this other world that was sacred, and I couldn't touch it. And I'm like, I can't cut into this deck. It's too sacred. And then it started rubbing on the box, because the bottom seems a little tight for how big these cards were, which is these huge cards. So I wound up having to cut it and trim it and edge it. And this was the perfect trim job that I did, the one I'm most proud of. It is edged in a dark purple to match this little purple here. But it came out fantastic. And then these are the backs now, so I just took the sides off. That's all I did. And you can see the difference here and how much I actually took off, because these are huge. And again, we have the Eight of Swords up front. This completely goes its own way. All the minors are renamed. The Dreamers are swords. They have keywords there in the minors. This is the Warrior 8. What the heck? This is the Dreamer 8, which is the Eight of Swords, and now we have the Eight of Wands. And this is Dragonflight. Makers are Pentacles, the Greedy Tree. Maker 9. Warrior 7, a Hero's Challenge. The Moon, gorgeous. This artwork is beautiful. It's unlike any artwork I have in any of my decks. That's the Maker. Winter's Bite. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, that's the 5 of Pentacles. And then we have the Dancer 6, which is the Cups. And then it says Born of Joy. But I feel like I'm stepping into this other world that just, I don't belong there. I don't belong there. And I feel like I'm trespassing when I enter this world. And that's possibly why I quit using this deck for a while, because it's almost like you have to digest what they're willing to share with you. And it takes a while to digest it all. Look at this. And it's a phenomenal deck. This one is just Dancer 8, Escaping Stagnation. I love it because it's all black and white at the bottom, and as she's coming out, she's turning into color, reaching for the sun, and I'm just like, this deck is gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. It is deep. It is, and for a mass market, it's like $20 on Amazon. Like, you can't beat it. It's crazy how deep this deck is. Yeah, so if you're looking for a cheap mass market deck that feels like it's not, this is it, because it's deep, 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 deep. I also want to show you the guidebook, which I was floored when I realized. Little tiny guidebook. As a writer, not the majors, but the minors are all poems. And I'm like, that just adds to the bonus of it. This is why I could never part with this deck, ever. That's why it's irreplaceable. There's nothing out there like this deck at all, to me, yet. There may be someday. As of right now, there's nothing like any of these decks I just showed you, for me. And that's why they're in this tag, irreplaceable decks. Look at that Temperance, beautiful. This also has one of my favorite, it probably is my favorite Tower card. And I think Lisa Pepe said that on her video as well. Look at this one, the Dancer Princess. And it says Gift of Expression. She just like marching to the beat of her own drummer. She don't care if anybody's watching. And what cracks me up, oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this Chariot, which is my soul card. That just, it's phenomenal. It gives you the balance there, and just this freedom. It's just gorgeous. The Pan for the Devil, just amazing, amazing. Dreamer 2, Half Moon Truce. This Tower card is everything. She's breaking free of that mold of what society deems her to be and becoming her own thing, and I just love that. Love it. She's breaking it. I love it. So I'm trying to show you guys this Dreamer 9 Nightmare. Gorgeous. I'm trying to find it. I might have already passed it. Look at this one. Soulless Dreamer 3. Heart's gone. Like her heart is missing. Crazy. Crazy. This is the cover of the box. The Sun card. With this one, the Star, gorgeous. The Hanged One. Death. Gorgeous. I must have passed it. You see over here, the Prince, Dreamer Prince. It's the Dreamer Prince. Let me look for it real quick. Sorry. You guys ain't going nowhere, right? And it's upside down. Dancer Prince. Oh my gosh, I'm reading the wrong thing. I hear church bells. We don't have churches that close. Here it is again. That's crazy. I've never heard church bells out here. Crazy. I just keep hearing them. Maybe somebody got married. That's crazy. I don't know if y'all can hear it. If you can, comment below, because it's distant, but I've never been able. Now here's bunnies coming up. Oh, he's spotted. I've never seen a spotted bunny before. He's going right for my blackberries. I gotta put some more stuff on there because they rained again. Oh my gosh, I'm looking for this Dancer Prince. There he is. Okay. So I showed you the Dancer Princess, and it says the Gift of Expression, and she's just like doing her own thing. She's just like, I'm doing whatever I want. And then we have Dancer Prince, Gift of Passion, and it appears as if they're almost like they're the same area, and he's hiding, watching her, which is creepy. Creepy. But I find little caveats like that throughout this deck, which makes it interesting for me. Maybe it's just me that finds that part creepy, but I feel like he's stalking her. But she don't care. She's like, watch me. I don't care. I'm going to do my own thing. Whatever. Whoever's watching. So that is the Tarot of the She. By Schiffer Redfeather. So that is all my 10 irreplaceable decks. Again, it's not my favorites. It's not decks I use all the time. It's just decks that I know there's nothing else that, as of right now, that I've found in my tarot practice that can replace those, or their decks that completely go their own way, which means to me they're irreplaceable, because if they go their own way, there's nothing out there that can match that, unless the same creator makes an identical type of deck with different images. So yeah, to me, the further you go away from a specific structure, specific thing, that's what makes it irreplaceable. And I think I found that on those decks. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please hit the like button. And I had something pop up, so now I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, I will see you guys later. Yeah, you have a good night. Bye.